Hey everyone, it's time again to recap the latest news from the solar PV industry compiled by the American Solar Energy Society. I'm Jay Warmke with SolarPVTraining.com, and this is what's happening in the magical world of solar for the week of August 3rd. There are currently no community owned or operated microgrids in the state of Oregon, but two new laws recently passed are designed to change this and make it possible for communities to plan, build, and own local microgrids and connect them to the greater utility system. This development is unique in the nation, as most microgrids are currently owned and operated by governments, by utilities, and also by private companies. Microgrids are local, self-reliant, or self-contained energy systems designed to operate independently from the grid or to work with the grid in coordination with it. This allows communities to incorporate microgrids to continue delivering power to those communities, even when the grid goes down. Microgrids can also help fill capacity shortages during peak periods of demand by net metering, essentially, their excess energy back to the greater grid. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek signed House Bills 2065 and 2066 into law this month. The legislation is aimed to expedite microgrid creation within that state. Businesses canceled another $6.7 billion worth of new factories and clean energy projects in June, bringing the total of canceled projects to more than $22 billion in the first half of 2025, according to E2's latest monthly analysis on clean energy projects. This is the result primarily of changes to federal incentive programs contained in Trump's budget bill. Historically, not all announced projects end up being completed, but 2025 has seen a dramatic drop-off in new announced projects, as well as a significant increase in the number of previously announced projects that have been canceled. The latest wave of cancellations, affecting 5 battery storage and electric vehicle factories in Colorado, Indiana, Michigan, New York, Oregon, these all follow a growing uncertainty amongst businesses as Congress was making the final push to effectively end federal clean energy tax credits. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average price of electricity has risen from 17.9 cents per kilowatt hour in January of this year to 19 cents in June, an increase of around 6%. Analysts blame a spike in natural gas prices, surging loads from artificial intelligence data centers, and an aging, congested grid as among some of the reasons that Americans will continue to see higher energy and electricity prices during the summer. Ohio, for example, is seeing a projected 10 to 15% increase in residential electricity bills due to a capacity auction with much higher pricing than the previous year. New York is facing substantial increases, with some utilities proposing hikes of over 20%, and Massachusetts is also seeing proposed increases of as high as 23%. Enphase Energy has begun shipping its 4th generation energy system in July of this year, featuring the IQ Battery 10C, the IQ Meter Collar, and the IQ Combiner 6C. About 60% of all residential systems installed in the U.S. incorporate Enphase products. The company claims that the new system reduces the number of components required, which will in turn reduce installation time. The smart switch or system controller is no longer needed, as all its functions have been moved to the other 3 components. The IQ Battery 10C offers 10 kilowatt hours of usable energy and delivers 7 kilowatts of continuous power, enough to support heavy startup loads like HVAC systems and pool pumps. Its compact form delivers nearly 34% greater energy density and can take up to 62% less wall space compared to the previous batteries from Enphase. The IQ meter collar mounts behind the utility meter or in a standalone meter socket, removing the need for a backup subpanel. It also monitors the flow of electricity to and from the grid, and the IQ Combiner C consolidates the interconnection equipment from one enclosure, integrating fully the breaker spaces for solar, battery, EV charging, and load control, along with pre-installed CTs for solar and battery monitoring. Now, together, these components reduce wall space, complexity, and installation time of the entire system. And that's the news from the solar industry for this week. We'll see you next week.